Hello everyone, my name is Sophie. Today I'm with another student of Humber College. We will talk about his program and his journey to Canada. Okay, so I'm gonna turn the floor to him to let him introduce himself, and then we will gonna learn more about his education background and why he comes to Canada to study his program. Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Nice to meet you, Harjal. So thank you so much for coming to talk with everyone. So can you first briefly introduce about yourself, like what's your educational background and what you're studying at Humber? Just some brief introduction.
Firstly, thank you, Sophie, for having me here. Hello, everyone. My name is Harjot Singh. I am from India. I belong to the northernmost state of India, Jammu and Kashmir. Basically, I did my bachelor's in mechanical engineering and I graduated in the year 2016. Post which, I started working with an American OEM as a supply management specialist. So overall, I hold 6 years of work experience in supply chain management. I recently came to Canada. I'm a newcomer here. I landed in Canada in September 2022, and currently I'm pursuing my post-graduation in supply chain management at IGS campus.
Oh, that's amazing. I don't know anything about supply chain management. I guess a lot of students who are watching the video with us also would like to know more about supply chain management. Like why do you choose to study this program? Can you talk about this?
Okay, so I'm someone who's always been curious in understanding where things are made and how the things reach to us. For example, I could place order. We all do online shopping, right? So we place orders and the things or whatever it is that we are ordering that is manufactured like hundreds and thousands of kilometers away from us gets reached to us within 1 day or two days. You can look at Amazon's business model. It guarantees 1 day delivery, 2 day delivery. Or if you're someone who's interested into automobile sector, how the cars get manufactured and get delivered. You go to a dealer, you place an order, the dealer exactly tells you that you'll have the car in 30 days, 35 days, 40 days, whatever it is. So how does all of that get done? Everything that you see around you in your houses, the companies around you, if everything is all about supply chain. If you see a physical product, it's about supply chain. Today, even the service industry, even the supply chain is getting into the service industry. So if that is something that that gets you curious, that gets you thinking. So supply chain is the industry for you.
So as a professional in supply chain management, will you spend most of the time looking at the computer and to make sure the inventory is there?
So both of the parts are true. It basically depends on the kind of role you are working on. So if you're more into inventory management, if you are in an inventory management kind of role, you'll be mostly looking at the data, trying to analyze, trying to predict how much inventory you need, when to replenish, working on your replenishment strategies, trying to reduce the inventory or whatever is your business goal, maybe reducing the cost, driving the profits, contributing to the bottom line of the company. But that's not all about it. There are roles where you could also get into warehousing, transportation and logistics. So you can get into warehouse management. You get on the lines, on the production lines, trying to firefight. So it's where you get your hands dirty, you see the physical products. If you are into purchasing, purchasing as a part of supply chain, you will get to various vendor locations. You'll collaborate with multiple suppliers, your internal stakeholders, your external stakeholders. You'll talk to your quality, you'll talk to your production planning, you'll talk to your manufacturing, you'll collaborate with your external suppliers to get the parts developed. You'll have multiple supplier visits to understand your supplier capabilities, to understand how they're going to map your product, how they're going to manufacture it, whether they're able to meet the demands, whether whatever you forecasted or whatever your demands are going to be, whether they will be able to produce as per the plan. And you are also responsible to ensure the quality of the parts that you're getting manufactured. I mean, there's a quality department that takes care of it, but as a part of supply chain and as a purchasing agent or a purchasing manager, depending on your role, you're the one who's responsible for strategic sourcing of the projects, and with strategic sourcing you are able to identify the right kind of supplier who can manufacture the part with the right quality at the lowest cost. So yeah, you get into the field, you get into the computers, whatever works for you, but in the end it's all about keeping the companies profitable and driving the supply chains, keeping the supplies coming, and keeping the production flow.
Great. So for your current program, can you talk about how many semesters your program has and what are some of the courses you're learning from the program?
So mine is a 1-year course. So we have 2 semesters in this course, and currently I'm in this first semester of my course. Right now we have different subjects like business communication, because communication is an important part of supply chain. As we just talked about, you'll be collaborating with multiple stakeholders, and if you do not know how to communicate, it's not going to work for you. So one of the programs that we have is business communication. Then we have logistic technology, where we are taught about some of the tools like Microsoft Excel, because in order to analyze data, most 70% of the companies across the globe are dependent on Excel. Then we have Microsoft Access that is being taught to us, which is basically database management, connecting multiple sources of data. Then you will also get to you'll be making a lot of presentations, because you have to present to leadership, you have to talk to multiple people. So you are the face of, as a buying agent or as a purchasing agent, purchasing manager, or a supply chain analyst, you will be the face of the supply chain. So you'll have to present to leadership about your outcomes and results and your findings. So we also get to learn about PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, and other Microsoft applications in this program, in this course. Then one of the other courses that we have is business processes, which basically focuses on integrating the various processes in a business and functional departments using the SAP tool, which is one of the enterprise resource planning tools, which is used by most of the companies to manage for basically material requirements planning, to plan whatever materials are needed in the right quantity at the right time, and keep the flow continuing. So SAP is one of the very important tools that's being taught in business processes. We have distribution, which basically talks about network optimization and how products are distributed, how products flow, right from your suppliers to your supplier to the manufacturer to the end customer. So it basically talks about the product flow right from its origin, when it is in raw material state, to the finished state and reaches the end customer. So yeah, we have very interesting subjects.
Very practical. Do you remember the admission requirement? This program, because it's a postgraduate certificate, you need a bachelor degree, right?
Yeah, so one of the requirements that is must is a bachelor degree, and then you need to take your IELTS. So bachelor's degree, your IELTS, and you need to have good grades in your bachelor's, no backlogs, as Humber requires. So that is one of the important criteria for this course, and I think it's 6.5 plus in your IELTS.
Yeah, and I think every students coming from different bachelor background can apply, because this doesn't require any math, I think, courses, right? As an entry requirement.
As an entry requirement, no, but it's definitely good point. It's an added advantage if you have maths, if you know a little bit about maths, and if you have high school maths, at least if you have that, then it will always be a good add-on for you in this course, because one of the major portions in supply chain is about inventory management. So you gotta be able to analyze some numbers.
Do you apply any? Do you need to use any programming knowledge in the daily daily work? Do you need to use that?
So it depends on the role that you're applying to. So if you're a supply chain analyst, then definitely you could use some of the tools like R, Python for building supply chain analytical models to have your inventories at the right level. So that is one of the things you can target. But then if you are someone who's not into programming or who is scared of programming, then there are other roles for you where you can get into strategy formation, such as strategic purchasing roles, which is you could get into them, or you could also get into the logistics portion. You could get into the warehouse position. You could get into there are other fields as well in supply chain. Supply chain has so many opportunities in various areas that you can explore, and not all of them require programming skills, but it's always a good point if you're analytical.
All right. Okay, so my last question would be, what is the job opportunities? I know you're new to Canada, but because you have been working in this industry for many years, what is the job opportunities you think, like after you graduate from this program? Do you see many job postings? And also, what would be the salary range for this industry?
Okay, so supply chain as an industry is overall growing, and it's growing tremendously in Canada. So talking about various job boards and stuff like that, so I have been exploring, and there are various surveys that have been done which state that more than 100,000 jobs are opening in supply chain field in the next 5 years. And currently, as of this moment when we are speaking, there are more than 50,000 unfilled jobs in this field in various roles such as demand planning, inventory management, logistics analyst, supply management specialist, purchasing agent, purchasing manager, you name it. You name an area related to supply chain and you will find jobs in those areas.
And as you said, every business needs a supply chain.
Every business needs a supply chain. Today, no company can function without a supply chain, and supply chain is what makes your companies profitable, what drives the profitability of the company. A good supply chain strategy, a good supply chain team, a good supply chain manager is what keeps your companies profitable.
What about the salary then?
Okay, so it also depends on the, as you see, there are multiple verticals. So it depends on the vertical, but I would say the median salaries would still range from, on a starting basis, would range from 50,000 to 70,000. Then on a middle level, it would go from 70,000 to further, and then on a higher level, it could go as high as 150 into 200K. So I feel there's no end to it. It all depends on your knowledge level and how you use your skill sets, how you develop your skills and use that skill set for
if you become a director of supply chain, right? Your salary will be very high, I guess.
Very high, yeah.
All right. Is there anything you wanted to add, or you think it's beneficial for our students to know? If they wanted to pursue this, is there any licensing or associations in Canada?
Yeah, so there is a global association which is called as American Supply Chain Association, ASCN. So it provides there are 3 different kinds of certifications that it provides. One is CPIM, which is certification in inventory. Then there's CLTD, which is certifications in logistics and transportation, and then there is CSCP, which is certified supply chain professional. So these are the 3 highest degrees or certifications in the field of supply chain, and if you have these kinds of certifications, this will totally differentiate you from the other people who are applying into various supply chain positions. And these are the prestigious certifications to have on your career. Humber also has a tie-up with the Canadian Council of Supply Chain Management, and Humber specifically has designed their supply chain program keeping in mind and forming strategies based on the inputs provided by these associations, and Humber has designed their program so that it provides a solid ground and framework for good businesses and global supply chains, and helps students to pursue those certifications later on. So it will be a good build on for in case you want to have those certifications later on in the future.
That's nice. Thank you so much, Hector. I learn so much from you every time we talk about supply chain management. And when I'm looking at the program name, I was like, what's really this industry is about, right? I think it's, as what you have shared, it's there are so many opportunities and it's growing so fast, especially after the pandemic. I think every company knows how important supply chain is. I think it's a great opportunity for any student who like to change their career. If you're interested in supply chain management, then you can consider this as a potential program for you, and even consider this as your future career. It is very promising from what we talked about today. And thank you so much again. Really appreciate you share your experience with everyone.
Thank you so much, Sophie, for having me. In case you want to do it later, I'm always available to talk about supply chain.